My name's Kiara Worth. I am from South Africa. I'm here in New York at the United Nations Commission on Sustainable Development. I am a delegate for the Baha'i international community, and I also represent the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of South Africa, and I also am here with Golder Associates, which is a company that I work for in South Africa that is predominantly involved in sustainability and environmental services.
Wonderful. Kiara, can you please tell us a little bit about your project Theatre of Survival?
Sure. In South Africa, I'm involved in a number of climate change projects, and one of the things that I'm doing is exploring the use of theatre as a means of communicating climate change to rural and local communities within the country. So at the United Nations, I was a part of a panel of speakers for a side event on poverty and the climate crisis, where I presented on the work that I've been doing in terms of theatre. And it's a piece that I have called Theatre of Survival, and it really is a depiction of how theatre can be used in climate change communication. It's a one-woman show where I play three different characters, an old woman from South Africa, a scientist, and a bohemian dramatist, which are pretty stereotypical characters within climate change communication that can be used to show how we have previously communicated ideas and how we potentially can communicate ideas.
Okay, great. And can you please talk about the UN's reaction to having works of creative arts and other drama sort of pieces?
It's been an interesting experience. At first I wasn't planning on doing the play, but through a series of engagements and interactions with a number of people in South Africa, we decided that actually the best way to discuss how theatre can be used is to have a visual representation of it. So I developed this play, I wrote it, and then staged it. And I think that the initial reaction from the United Nations was one of hesitance.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have been as surprised as I was. I think it's quite a new arena of thought, and people are generally not so embracing of ideas that they don't necessarily understand. So at first there was a bit of resistance, but fortunately I was able to have some wonderful people here at the Baha'i international community who helped to make sure that I could do the play. And I think that there's been an enormous response from it, a very positive response. A lot of people have commented on it as a new and refreshing way of dealing with images or dealing with communication. So I'm thrilled that I've had the opportunity of doing it, and I hope that it has a great success.
Okay, and how has your theatre project been impacting the communities that you've been working with in South Africa?
I think that there have been a number of wonderful outcomes from it. First of all, it's a very difficult thing to assess because changing of the human heart is a non-tangible thing that we don't necessarily see, and it's also a very long-term thing. So I've only been doing it for perhaps the past 6 months or so, for this project in particular. But I think that one of the most positive outcomes of it is the empowerment of the local communities. One of the key elements of theatre, and specifically of Theatre for Survival, is engaging with the communities, not only to teach them dramatic skills and how to develop a drama for themselves, but also to learn more about them and to learn their stories and to find out what they think is important in life, and to really understand their sense of what the world is and how the world has meaning for them. And I think that when you really pay attention to people and you really focus on them and actively want to know more about them, it's an empowering thing. And then when you combine that with giving them tools to express that for something that has the potential to change the way that your community works, you suddenly move on to a whole new level of empowerment, and I hope that that has been achieved. Certainly I've had some very positive feedback in South Africa from the participants and from other people outside of that group. So I think it's a fantastic process, and I think it's ongoing. And really one of the keys to sustainability is long-term solutions, and we hear it all the time, but we don't really know how to implement that, and we don't really want to put the effort into to make sure that that becomes a reality. And I think that theatre and the creative arts in general is one way of doing that. And I look forward to future engagement with it.
Are you hoping to return to the next CSD and perform again?
I would love to. I have some great plans for what I'd like to do next year, none of which are confirmed as of yet. But I am looking at developing a play in collaboration with a number of different artists, professional trained artists that I work with in South Africa, and then also not professional artists and new artists in various communities that I've worked in. And I would really love to put together a performance piece that could be performed at the UN that demonstrates not only climate change but also the empowerment process of theatre and the arts and new ways of looking at communication that I think need to be dealt with. I'd love to do it in collaboration with the Baha'is and with the South African government. So I think there's enormous room for possibilities, and